Before we look at the collapse of an ecosystem, we have to examine the humble dirt it was built on. A poor farmer and his wife live on a small plot of land, subsisting on the absolute minimum required to stay alive. Their microeconomy is strictly transactional and reliant on mutual labor. The humans provide feed and shelter. The hen and the cow provide a few daily eggs and a pail of milk. The farmer physically collects these yields every morning, and he openly thanks his animals for the effort. He recognizes that without their small daily contributions, he and his wife would starve. There is no excess wealth here, but there is stability. Their contentment stems directly from expectations that align perfectly with the slow, continuous rhythm of their labor. The true test of their baseline stability arrives amidst the chaotic noise of the village market. The farmer travels here to trade his meager inventory of milk and eggs for basic sustenance. Spotting a beautiful white goose huddled in the corner of the marketplace, he makes an impulse decision, trading his hard-earned profit to bring the animal home. His intentions at the moment of the transaction remain entirely pure. He expects nothing out of the ordinary. He simply wants to add another beak to the flock and a new companion to their working farm. Gratitude is relatively easy to maintain when you have no other choice. The question is how human morality functions when the necessity of that daily struggle is suddenly and entirely removed. The answer begins the very next morning. The farmer walks to the goose's nest, fully expecting a standard, fragile egg. As the bird lifts off the nest, she reveals a heavy, solid gold egg resting in the straw. The farmer's initial shock rapidly gives way to an overwhelming, dizzying relief. The immediate financial mathematics are staggering. Selling this single, unearned object provides more actual capital than decades of milking and harvesting ever could. The laws of supply, demand, and physical exertion that governed their survival are instantly obsolete. The farm's established timeline of labor is broken. Their material conditions escalate in a matter of days. A steady delivery of one golden egg every 24 hours buys a sprawling house, luxurious clothing, and incredibly rich food. Look at how the environment shifts. The universal gratitude the farmer once held warps into hyperfixation. He pampers the goose with a velvet-lined bed and special grains, treating her like royalty while turning his back on the rest of the barn. The social structure of the farm degrades. The goose develops a toxic arrogance over her output, while the once essential cow and hen are entirely neglected. Massive, disproportionate injections of wealth automatically manufacture unnatural hierarchies. The balanced community that previously kept them alive fractures under the weight of favoritism. Then comes the fatal pivot. The farmer's wife looks at the daily delivery of solid gold and no longer sees a miracle. She sees an agonizing bottleneck. Late that evening, the farmer and his wife stand over the sleeping bird, their expressions twisted by obsession. They commit to an irreversible decision. The gentle man who used to thank his animals for a few drops of milk has vanished. His vision narrows entirely to the blinding anticipation of a limitless, instant treasure. The heavy knife slashes downward against the barn wall. To seize the capital, they cut the animal open. They pry inside, expecting to find a glittering cavern of wealth. Instead, they find ordinary biology: blood, muscle, and bone. There are no extra eggs. The reality of the transaction hits them in a crushing wave. The farmer stares at the ruined animal, processing the sheer permanence of his mistake. They are plunged back into a state worse than their original poverty. In their rush to acquire everything immediately, they actively slaughtered the only engine capable of producing their prosperity. True stability requires the discipline of patient gratitude. When the demand for instant gratification overrides a steady, daily yield, it blinds people to the math of reality and ensures the destruction of their greatest assets.